today. From the Superdome in New Orleans, this is the National Football League. We'll see Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints taking on Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Las Vegas Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
In the midst of a tumultuous 2021 season, the Las Vegas Raiders really turned to their quarterback, Derek Carr, to not only drive their offense, leading to career-high totals from the 8th-year passer and a nearly 5,000-yard season throwing the football, but also his leadership ability. He really grabbed that team and led them to the playoffs for the 2nd time in his career while coming out one of the toughest divisions in football.
First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he gets it up past the 35. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. He'll get this to about the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Carr. And his throw here's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Carr going to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
From midfield, here's Carr. Delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, pick them up. And someone jumped.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Now Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Carr now to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Offensively, a far from ideal start there with a pick on the opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly what they were looking for. We know that. That's pretty obvious. The beauty, though, is it's happening early. If they don't panic, they don't compound this problem, they've got a long way to go and a chance to get back in it.
Now here come the Saints about to begin their first possession, and the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
It was terrible to see Jameis Winston suffer his torn ACL last season because he had the Saints rolling in his first year running the show in New Orleans. They went 5-2 in his starts, and they were just 4-6 after he was injured. And how about this? He only threw 3 interceptions, really addressing the big concern people had from his time as a starter in Tampa. New Orleans, they plan to roll with him for a 2nd season and hope that last year's performance will carry over in a full season.
Winston's throw taken in by Landry. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Receiver factor at Ohio State turned out an NFL-ready deep threat this year in Olave, who New Orleans jumped up to get at number 11. The Saints learned last week they need another defense breaker in their receiver room to allow a little bit of space to throw underneath. Sub 4.4 speed and a history of turning deep routes into touchdowns made Chris Olave their guy, and he gets them the first down.
Open man is the tight end Troutman.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the first down.
Second and 8 coming up. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 36.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Kamara. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Winston to give. It's Kamara. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Jameis to throw it. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 16. We're scoreless after 1. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Winston now. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. On 2nd and goal, Winston to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Their second drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan so tough to block as he gets in there to record the sack.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. Carr now on 1st down. He completes it to Abdullah. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. To throw again on 2nd down, Carr. And he wisely will throw that one away.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Deontay Hardy deep for New Orleans. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And you wonder if they'll just take this 3-0 lead to the locker room. A first down throw for Winston. He gets this one to Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Coming up on 2nd and 7. To throw is Winston. Looking long for Thomas. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. 39 yards there, a big one.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Olave over the middle. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half. And as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Winston now to throw on first down. Forced out to his left. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 30 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. A 10th carry for Kamara. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Here's Winston. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Winston. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chandler Jones from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
Chandler Jones is now over 100 sacks in his career and has had at least 10 in each of his last 7 full seasons. Las Vegas, they got real good, real fast when they landed him in the offseason.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Here's Kamara off the draw. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball.
Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the air. They go to the ground, doesn't work. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And his throw is incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Here's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Carr again. It's complete. Abdullah. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. .43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Play fake. Winston. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
On play action, Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Jameis now on first down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Adam Troutman, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Saints get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Well, we lasted all the way to the fourth quarter without a touchdown being on the board, but here a key one to extend the lead.
Definitely, and I really doubt, though, that that's going to open the floodgates. What do you think, partner?
No, not the way that we've seen these defenses play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've been rock solid.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This taken in at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we were talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
Lutz will look to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The offense on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Carr, got to have this one. And it's complete to Adams. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Here's Carr to throw. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you get that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Carr going to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll start with a give to Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And some room to work. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 62 yards rushing now for Kamara. It's a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Certainly not the highest of scoring games, Charles. Their offense did some okay things, not a lot of points on the board, but enough for the win with how their defense was playing in this one.
Yeah, they certainly brought their A game, didn't they? They weren't fooled by anything that was presented to them from start to finish. That defense, they might as well have told their offense, guys, just kick a field goal. We've got it today.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.